Welcome to Princess Stories for Kids, where magical stories come to life with Princess Anastasija and Princess Atina. Snuggle up and get ready for another wonderful adventure, filled with magic, love, and friendship. Let's journey together to the land of dreams and imagination.
On a bright spring morning, Princess Anastasija and Princess Atina were playing in the garden of their magical castle. Their joyful laughter filled the air as they ran across the green grass. Maza, their curious little beagle, was happily sniffing around the garden. She stopped at every flower and wagged her tail with delight. Suddenly, Maza stopped and looked curiously at something tiny in front of her. It was a small, lovely snail with a little house on its back. "Hello," said the snail in a friendly voice. "I'm Mr. Snail. My house is always with me." The princesses came closer to see him better. Mr. Snail bowed politely and smiled cheerfully. On top of his shell waved a little flag in the sunlight. "I call it my little magical house. It has everything I need," he said proudly. "Mr. Snail, how can you carry your house on your back?" asked Atina. "Isn't it heavy?" added Anastasija. "Oh no, my little house is my home. Wherever I go, my home is always with me," said Mr. Snail. "It gives me a sense of safety. I always have a place to rest or hide when it rains." The princesses listened with wide eyes, imagining what it would be like to carry a house everywhere. "You know," added Mr. Snail, "home isn't just a place. It's a feeling of peace and love." "May we look inside your house?" asked Atina curiously. Mr. Snail smiled. "Of course, but you'll have to become very, very tiny." The princesses raised their magic wands and said the spell, "Magic power, make us small and bright, so we can see the house just right." Suddenly, everything looked huge. The grass was like trees, the petals like clouds. They were as small as bugs, and Maza watched them in surprise from far away. In front of them stood Mr. Snail's house, now as big as a real cottage. The spiral wooden door had a tiny bell that went ding-ding when they knocked. Next to it stood a small mailbox labeled Mr. Snail. The princesses giggled and gently knocked. The door opened, and they stepped inside quietly and full of wonder. Inside, everything was tiny and tidy. Shells hung on the walls, pictures of grasses, and a lovely little portrait of Mr. Snail wearing a bow tie. In the corner was a table made from a dried seed, and the chairs were crafted from empty snail shells. On the shelf stood tiny jars with tea leaves and glass marbles glowing like lights. In the center lay a round mossy rug. It was quiet, warm, and magical, like in a dream. "Now that you're my guests, it's time for a little snack," said Mr. Snail happily. He brought out a tray with warm tea and small leaf-shaped cookies. The princesses thanked him, and they all enjoyed tea and cookies with big smiles. Suddenly, a familiar voice called from the distance, "Anastasija, Atina, it's time to come home. It's getting dark." It was Queen Aneta calling from the castle window. The girls stood up, hugged Mr. Snail warmly, and said goodbye. Then they raised their wands and, with a sparkle, returned to their real size. Maza gently came closer and gave Mr. Snail a little lick on his shell. Mr. Snail smiled, happy to have met such wonderful friends. As the sun was setting, the princesses and Maza slowly walked back down the path to the castle. The flowers whispered good night, and the sky shimmered golden above them. That evening, Anastasija and Atina snuggled into their royal beds. Maza curled up beside them. Wrapped in warmth and smiles, they fell asleep, dreaming of the little house and their new friend, Mr. Snail. And so another magical day ended in the castle of the two princesses. And wherever you are, dear children, carry your home in your heart. Sparkling heart, good night, and dream the sweetest dreams.